Welcome to the Change Revolution podcast with your host, Phil Cook.
I want to talk a little bit today about the power and the challenge, really, of your name. The name of your organization, the name of your company, the name of your entity, your project, whatever. The fact is, names matter. I just really believe names matter. I find too many churches and ministries and nonprofit organizations and even businesses that have names that they came up with decades or 50, sometimes 100 years ago. And the name has no resonance, no meaning today for what they do or how they do it or the community they live in. And so I think names really matter. And from time to time, we need to revisit your name. Now, the fact is, brand equity matters. We've talked about brand equity sometimes in these podcasts. And brand equity is the trust that you've built up over the years because of your brand and how well people recognize your brand. But the fact is, when your name becomes really irrelevant, when your name becomes a distraction, when your name has nothing to build into your brand or help tell your story, then it becomes problematic. It becomes a little bit of a challenge. My classic story about names is the college in Grand Rapids, Michigan. For many, many years, they had a college there called Mid-America Baptist Bible College. Mid-America Baptist Bible College. It's been around for a long time. It was a good school. One day, about 7 or 8 years ago, they decided to change the name. Now, they didn't change the faculty, they didn't change the funding, they didn't change the building, they didn't change the curriculum or the classes. They just decided to change their name. And they went from Mid-America Baptist Bible College. I think a few years earlier, they dropped the Baptist off, so it was Mid-America College or Mid-America Bible College. And they decided to drop that name and change it to Cornerstone University. The fact is, in 1 year, the enrollment doubled. 1 year. I mean, who wants to go to Mid-America Baptist Bible College, but Cornerstone University sounds pretty cool. And I know some faculty members there, and I have friends who are there. And I understand that it's growing by leaps and bounds. And certainly it's a great school and has a great reputation, but enrollment doubled in 1 year after they changed their name. So I think it's time to, from time to time, you need to look at your name. I mean, I was looking at a computer list. This is the other day. This is an interesting note I found. I mean, the computer world is a great example. Dell Computers offers 5 different notebooks: the Inspiron, the XPS, the Precision, the Latitude, and the Vostro. Sony is even worse. Their notebooks are the TZ, the SZ, the CR, the FZ, the NR, and the AR. Now, who's remembering that? Who's going to remember that? Who knows the difference between one and the other? And what do those names have to do with anything about the computer? On the other hand, Apple puts a lot of effort and brand power into their names. They used to be PowerBooks, but now most recently they're MacBooks. And they have a MacBook and a MacBook Pro. They also have a Mac Mini, an iMac, a Mac Pro. They have kept their name intertwined in all of their products, and it helps build the relationships. It helps build the brand awareness and the power. So whether you're a church or a nonprofit or a business, think from time to time about the power of a name. I always like to think of how your name indicates your expertise, your story, your services, what you do. Try to integrate some of those things into the brand name, or at least try to make your brand name an expression of who you are, what your story is. It's incredibly important. Think of the relevance of your name, because here, the truth is we live in an A.D.D society. With the media clutter that's out there, we are more distracted than ever. So very often, your name is the only thing people will register. I mean, very often they will never get past your name to find out who you are or what you're about. So in a distracted culture like we live in today, names matter. So think about the power and the challenge of your name, and if it's time to update.
Join us for more of this conversation at Phil's Change Revolution blog at philcook.com. That's PHILCOOKE.com. And keep checking this podcast for more up-to-date dispatches from the front lines of media, faith, and culture.